Hey guys, it's Kay from KS Anonymous, and I am back today with another episode of r/TIFU, which stands for r/Today I effed up. Now, I apologize if you hear a lot of echo in this particular recording because my house is nearly empty, and this is one of the few rooms that has stuff in it, but it's still quite echoey, so we'll see how this audio turns out. I'm also in a bit of a weird mood, mostly because things have just been going wrong and it frustrates me deeply. So, we're going to go over other people effing up their lives to make me feel better. TIFU by trying to walk to my girlfriend's house that was far away. This happened about 10 years ago in my teens, but it sucked hard. Some backstory. My girlfriend at the time lived about a 4-hour walk away. In our area, there was only one big school, so when school was in, I could just take the bus to see her. But when it was summer, it was a lot harder. We were both pretty poor as well, which made it difficult. Our anniversary was coming up, and I had saved up some money and was going to walk to her house super early and surprise her. I get up around 5 a.m. This will put me at her place around 9 or 10 a.m., which would be perfect. The walk is nice, perfect weather, and my iPod was fully charged. About an hour into the walk, my feeling of impending doom begins. At first, I thought it was a fart, but quickly realized otherwise. I had to crap. It was a semi-rural area, but people were waking up. I thought I could hold it until I found somewhere more secluded. I keep walking. The further I walk, the more and more populated it gets, more people, and my options for even a remotely hidden spot are dwindling as the turd begins to fester. I think I can hold it. I hope I can hold it. I keep walking. Then it hits me. I can't hold it anymore, and I have to clench my cheeks as I dart towards the only semi-hidden spot I can see, behind someone's shed. I think the owners were home. It all happened so fast. I was so panicked, so I can't be sure. I go to pull my pants down as I squat. This has to be quick. But the crap was quicker. The second I release my cheeks and squat down, the crap rockets out and covers my pants, legs, and basically lands in my tidy, now not so whiteies. My next disgruntled move is to wipe up as much crap off my underwear as I can in the grass, and then try and clean up as much as I can using my crapped briefs as a makeshift rag. I do my best, but I start hearing people. I toss the wretched rag away, sorry to whoever found it, pull up my pants, and I keep walking. The next hour was pretty crappy. At first, it kind of burned, and the smell, even though it was my own, was freaking horrible. After a while, most of it got crusty, and it just kind of felt like I was muddy. By this time, I was now in a totally rural area, nothing but trees until my girlfriend's house. I feel lucky to this day I didn't have to talk to anyone during this time. I keep walking. As I got closer, I'm not sure if I was high off of crap fumes, going through some kind of mental break, or what, but I started singing pretty loudly. Lovely Day by Bill Withers, if I remember correctly. I arrive at her house. Just my luck, her friend is there too, more of an audience. She is surprised and very confused. I tell her what happened, and she ushers me into the shower and takes my clothes. I then proceed to have to spend the money I saved to get new/clean clothes brought to me, as my old clothes were pretty crap encrusted. Unfortunately, this was not my last public crapping mishap, but that story's for another time. TLDR, poor teenager tries to save money for anniversary by walking to girlfriend's house far away, ends up crapping himself and spending the money on clothes. Oh no, oh my god. See, I like to imagine that that if this ever happens to me, my body will know, we are not capable of stopping to take a poo-poo right now. This is not happening. However, as I've gotten older, my faith that this is a possibility has dwindled more often. So I guess, I don't know, maybe I'm just not so active as to be caught in middle of a walk and just completely incapable of finding a place to go that is appropriate and not behind some random person's shed. Oh god, that's embarrassing and gross and disgusting. I am so thankful to, at least as of this as of this particular recording, not to have had to take a dump I haven't had to take a dump in any place that's not a bathroom. When I was a kid, I did have to go pee in a horse stall because that was all we had, okay? That was all that was there. But it was just pee, you know? Like, it wasn't a full-on dump. So I'm just glad I haven't had to do that. I hope I never have to. I will enjoy the luxury of being near bathrooms. Oh, and it's so sad because it was all to surprise the girlfriend, and then just to have to give that money to clothes. That's so frustrating. TIFU by not knowing how to boil water. This actually happened 2 days ago. We were on vacation in a rented house. Some relatives dropped in to visit us. My wife wanted to offer them tea, so she handed me a kettle and asked me to boil some water. I filled it in the kitchen sink. Then I put the kettle on one of the burners on the range and turned the flame on under it. A minute or two later, an acrid burning smell started to fill the kitchen. My wife realized what was happening, darted to the range, and turned off the burner, but she was too late to save the electric kettle. That's right. It was the kind that has an internal heating mechanism and sits on a plugged-in base. The outside of the kettle was scorched, and the electronics inside it were definitely fried. As a result, I've just returned from Bed Bath & Beyond, $50 poorer, but hopefully a little wiser. I don't drink hot beverages, so I didn't know there was such a thing as an electric kettle for boiling water, but I sure know now. TLDR, I stuck an electric kettle on an open flame, ended up with a stinky kitchen and a dead kettle, and had to spend $50 for a replacement. To be fair, I do not own a kettle of any kind. I would also assume that it would go on the burner, unless if there was some sign that it doesn't, you know what I mean? Like, one, have you ever seen your wife use it before and it didn't go on the burner? Two, if there was just something about it that was like, you know what? Maybe I should ask. Like, maybe I should just look around to see if this is a good idea. But apparently, you know, maybe there wasn't. There was like no glaringly obvious thing that said, hey, I'm electric. So honestly, I feel like this could have been me. I really do. I feel like I could have been the genius who burned the electric kettle. So I'm not gonna laugh at this person too much because I absolutely could have been this person. How about you all? Are you all, like, familiar with the different types of kettles? Are they obviously different? Or are they pretty easy to mistake for not electric or whatever? Like, if I ever want tea, which is a very, very rare occurrence, I just put a pot of water on and boil the pot. Like, I don't have a kettle. So, I mean, I don't know how this works. TIFU by cooking naked. It's not what you think. No bits were physically harmed in the making of this TIFU, only emotionally scarred. My son was born right around the kickoff of the pandemic last year. Since no family could come visit, we did a lot of video calls. One day I was in the kitchen cooking breakfast au natural because I hate clothes. My wife was in the living room with the baby who was around 3 or 4 months old. They were on a group video chat with my wife's mother and 2 of her sisters with the camera obviously facing away from the kitchen. Several minutes into the conversation, I overhear my wife say, "Oh, you want to play with the phone?" Followed quickly by, "Oh no, oh no, oh no!" and some uproarious laughter coming from the phone's speakers. That little turd had reached out to grab the phone and somehow hit the flip camera button, putting more of me on display than my in-laws ever needed to see. I hadn't pieced together what had happened, so I didn't cover up or anything, and it took a good couple of seconds for my wife to get the camera to flip back, so everyone got a decent show. They still tease me about it, doing things like answering video calls with their eyes shut and asking, Is everyone decent? Can I open my eyes? TLDR, my son showed my in-laws my wiener on FaceTime. Bonus TIFU, one of the sisters from the call has access to her son's baby cam via an app because she watches him for us every now and then. It sends notifications when there's movement at the crib. I forget this frequently and go in there to rock him when he wakes up in the night, naked, because I sleep naked. I feel I did this one slightly wrong because I feel like naked would be the appropriate pronunciation here, but no, oh my god, that's so embarrassing. I understand, like, there are people who have, like sensory aversions to clothing. Some people just don't like the feeling of them. Some people literally, like, get flipped out by them, and, like, they can get special clothing for that and stuff, but still, it's definitely a thing for a lot of people. I personally would feel more uncomfortable au naturel cooking, but that's just me. I just feel like there's just so much of a risk going on there. I can understand not being able to foresee family somehow seeing things that they don't need to see, but like the idea of something terrible happening to like something on a body not covered with clothes when cooking just seems a little risky. That's just my opinion. TIFU by not knowing how pads are supposed to work. This actually happened today. I, 31 male, and my coworkers have been going into work more and more lately as vaccines get rolled out. Today, I was sitting in my office working when I spilled some water on my pants right in the area that would make people think I peed my pants. I didn't notice when it happened. I decided to walk around campus to get a snack from the cafeteria. When I was walking down the stairs, a coworker laughed when we crossed paths. It was then I noticed that my pants had the water spot. No big deal. I sometimes have spare pants in my car, so I went there to change pants. I get to the car, but no extra pants. I'm looking for napkins with no luck when I see that there are a couple of my wife's feminine pads. Light bulbs go off as I think, I know how these work. These will soak up the water from my pants, no problem. So I open one up and stick it on the water spot. Of course, nothing happens. So I think, the problem here is placement. So I move the pad to under my pants, between my pants and underwear. It was perfect. Double front attack. Soak up the water from the pants and the underwear at the same time. So I place it and start walking to the cafeteria. The thought that this wouldn't work never crossed my mind. I'm waiting in line, socially distanced. At this point, unbeknownst to me, the pad has slid down my pants to the bottom near my shoe. When I move up to the next spot in line, I get a tap on my shoulder from the lady behind me. She says, "I think you dropped something," and pointed to the ground. There, on the ground, right next to my shoe, was a completely dry feminine pad. I said, "Oh, thanks," picked it up, threw it away, and walked back to my office. TLDR, thought I would use a pad to soak up the water I spilled on my pants. It fell out of my pants in the middle of a crowded cafeteria. My favorite, I don't know why, one of my favorite things is people using pads wrong. Especially when they think they know, like, this is how it works. Like, as a young girl in elementary, we had a special class. We got pulled out in 5th grade. The boys and the girls were separated, and we had that one class where we were taught how to use a pad. The tampon instructions were not clear, so the pad was pretty simple to show how it worked. So we all got that seminar, that class that y'all didn't apparently. And yeah, no, a pad is pretty much useless if you're just gonna like casually have it sit next to slightly wet clothing. Like, I don't. Oh my god. That's okay. I didn't see it working at any point, but I'm glad you had that ingenuity. Anyway, that is going to wrap up today's video. If you enjoyed it, go ahead and drop a like and let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Really quickly, I would like to thank my patrons. Up on the screen, you should see my face palmers and my crazy case. Thank you all so much for supporting me in that way. And thank you all for hanging around. I know it has been a bit inconsistent, and perhaps that's a bit of an understatement as well, but I always love being able to share my video stuff with you all, and seeing you guys in the comments and getting to hear from you all is always wonderful. So thank you so much for sticking around. If this is your first time here, feel free to hit the subscribe button if you want to, and just say hi. Saying hi is great. Awesome. Thank you. Anyway, I will talk to you in my next video. Bye.